Chapter 1. Priorities. Presque Isle, Michigan, June. Ramie. Life is fragile. We all say that, but most of the time the truth of it does not move from our head to our heart. We take people for granted, ignore aches and pains, do not say the things that we know we need to say, putting them off for a later time. And what Tim and I were continually putting off was this: talking to his parents about aging, and particularly how they wanted to live the ends of their lives. Why was this topic so hard to bring up? Why had we continually chickened out, the questions we wanted to ask remaining stuck in our throats? What would we do when that moment came and we had no choice but to face their mortality and ours? Was there a way to say yes to living, even as we looked death in the face? It was with firm resolve to address some of these questions that we pulled into the driveway of my in-laws' Presque Isle, Michigan home for our annual visit. We were determined that this was going to be the year we finally found the strength to broach the subject. But as is so often the case, a crisis hit us before we had time to do any talking. Tim's mother, Norma, usually greeted us, letting us know what kind of cookies she had baked for us. Tim's father, Leo, often helped him park the trailer. But during the time it took us to back up the airstream along the south side of the asphalt driveway, neither had emerged from their small brick home. We did not need to say it to each other, but we were both worried. Walking swiftly, we climbed the handful of steps that led to the side entrance, opened the door, and proceeded through the mudroom and into the eat-in kitchen. Something was burning. And something was wrong. Very, very wrong. "Mom? Dad?" No one answered. Tim switched off the oven without looking to see what was in it. One of Leo's many clocks began to chime, out of sync with the real time. Then another, and another. The grandfather clock, the one Leo meticulously wound every Sunday, was idle. A NASCAR event blared from the living room television, but the chairs where Leo and Norma usually sat were empty. We made our way to the back of the house. That was when we saw them in the hall, making their way toward us from the bathroom. At first sight, nothing appeared awry. But then we noticed that Leo was hunched forward, with his arm around Norma's shoulder, his face contorted in pain. My tiny mother-in-law strained to hold him up, balancing herself with a cane in her left hand. They inched toward us. With each step, Leo cried out, not acknowledging us. We rushed forward. Tim wrapped his arm around him. I did the same with Norma. "Mom, what happened? Dad, talk to me. What's going on? When did this happen? Watch the rug. Pick up your feet. Hang on to me. Dad, I got you. Everything is going to be okay. Let's get you in your chair." With Leo whimpering and wincing, we shuffled toward the living room. Quickly, I settled Norma into her chair, but it took more effort and much more time to settle Leo into his. Another clock chimed when it should not have. The television continued to roar. I grabbed the remote, fumbling with it. It was unfamiliar to me. Where was the mute button? Finally, the television went silent. Normally a happy, jovial guy, Leo moaned and, at times, wailed. We brought him pillows and helped him shift positions, but none of it relieved his agonizing pain. Tim and Norma retreated to the kitchen, where they talked quietly. I hovered near Leo, hoping against hope that I could find a way to make him comfortable. Leo looked up at me and said, "Something is really fucked up." In all my years of knowing him, he had never used such language in my presence. Those few words told me all I needed to know.